We're Strike Master and this is Dave Softees Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio. Stay tuned.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Mexico City, Mexico, of thrash metal band Strike Master. We have joining us Col Kmu.
Hi, you all. There, this is Strike Master from Mexico City. How's all, man?
It's great to have you here. Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, Col Kmu. How you doing out there tonight?
It's been a very special day here in Mexico. It's been the night of the death. You know, as an ancient tradition, we had a lot of party last night at the cemeteries with our beloved ones who are not around anymore, but they can visiting us exactly November 1st and 2nd.
I see. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. First, I want to congratulate you on your brand new offering, the self-titled fifth offering, Strike Master. It's a killer thrash offering. And this was self-released?
Of course, it's self-released. Strike Master is still an independent band. There's not much metal labels around Mexico, and the band's always been independent in the way we work. So there is not much contact with big labels,
I
the
see.
big time labels that move the world. So the best option is to go working by ourselves all the way. We do the promotion, we do the sellings, we do shipments, everything. It's a big work to do, but it's more pleasant, to get our profit out of our own music.
I totally understand that, and I know I was checking out the band, and from what I noticed, the band has been on different labels throughout the previous releases since forming in 2005, and I understand that this is true or not true. Did this maybe I misunderstood what I was seeing, but it's not easy to get signed these days. Do you find
Yeah.
it easier for you to do all the self-releasing yourself, or have you been reaching out to maybe potential labels to that would be able to fit the band's needs? What have you been working on with that?
Well, we have been working with small labels.
Okay,
The band has always been independent, but we sell these licenses to the small labels so they can distribute our music. That's why we name them.
I
They are
understand.
like it's about like to have like small allies with us. There's small Mexican labels, South Americans, Americans, Europeans helping us out that way. But we always self-produce our music. We compose, we pay the studio, we release, and then we speak to these good friends of ours. They are interested, we can get in a small deal, to distribute. But the fact, like, to have an official label to release Strike Master, it's been impossible. It's very difficult in Mexico to have the eyes of the world here from the big labels, the ones that really move the world. We all know them. Um, the attention is paid in Europe. It's been in the United States, but they don't put their eyes this side of the border.
Yeah, it's unfortunately very true. And being in the underground, the further south you go, it seems that the underground gets deeper. So I understand what you're saying, and
Sad.
we have much to learn about the new Strike Master offering, and the band and everything. So let's mention the entire band. We have you on the vocals and guitar.
I am guitars and vocals, and we have Corporal Richard on drums, and we have Patch at bass guitar.
Has the band always been a three piece?
Yeah, we've always been a three piece. Many people have told me about getting a second guitar player, but it's been very difficult yet. There's not been many options to take, you know.
I hear you, but I tell you, for a three piece, you really can thrash it up. Your sound is incredible.
Well, we've had like 11 years trying to sound better and better, even when we're playing loud, live. I'm sorry, and I have a very good pedal set for making it happen when we're playing live. And of course, when I'm recording on studio, I can record the guitars as much times as I want. This last album, I recorded 4 times each guitar, each rhythm guitar,
I see. Yeah, when you're working in the studio, you can do so many things, right?
much as possible. Yeah, and the sound engineer can make them sound better. So that's the way we work.
Yeah. And let's talk about the way all your tunes come together. Who writes the words? Who writes the music? Do you all work on it together, or do you do most of the writing?
I've been working by myself since I was a teenager. But in the last years, these new kids who are playing here in Strike Master, I mean, Richie's been with us since 2010. Patch has been with us since 1 year. They have been working a lot in music as well for themselves and for the band. They are taking music lessons and stuff, so they are getting like more knowledge, more groove on their music. So I could say now they are helping me way more with the music nowadays.
I see. So basically, this lineup, so with your bass player, he's only been in the band for a year. You said?
Yeah, a year and a half maybe. He
Wow.
debuted in Los Angeles, California at the Long Live the Loud Fest with us. He's been
Wow.
a friend since ever as well.
I see.
And the
Wow.
drummer's been 7 years. They are both like two youngsters. They are like 7 years younger than me, but I'm very happy with them.
Well, I tell you, when we're playing Strike Master on the show, the chat room really enjoys your music, and I tell you, I really wish you the best that this lineup stays together for a very long time, and that you have increased popularity and success in this underground of ours.
It's very probable we've been friends for many years already. So before music, we've been friends. So
That's great.
that makes us like a point on us about we have the same objective in common, you know, to have a good time, to be good friends, and also the band to grow us as much as we can make it happen.
I see. And I think you said already that you produce your own music, so you master, mix it in. You have your own studio, or where do you record your
My
music?
drummer works in a best studio we have here in Mexico. He's a drum tech, he's an operator, and of course we have a very good sound engineering there. So it's a place where we play with our music, you know. And of course, there's a lot of people there working too. They are helping us out. So it's like a self-produced, and the mix and mastering goes in the hands of a sound engineer called Manuel. He's a young engineer. He's like 28 years old, but he's been working with us since 2011. So practically, he knows our sound, how Strike Masters got a sound.
Nice. That's good that he does that, and he knows what you want to sound like. Definitely helps out.
Exactly.
Definitely helps out. And your CD art for your self-titled release, your brand new one, it's
Yeah.
quite interesting. It reminds me of a like a rocket launcher. Who designed this, and who designed the band's classic logo?
The band's classic logo, I don't know him. It was 11 years ago, as I tell man.
Oh, really?
I never got to meet him. Yeah. It was we had a past lineup. It was a friend of the ex drummer, so he will remain in anonymatum.
Oh, wow.
That's I don't even know his name. He did the first three covers, so that's the one. But the new logo, the one that you say it looks like a rocket, it was my drummer's brother-in-law. He's called Cesar. He designs everything for the band.
Oh, that's
He's
cool.
a graphic designer, and he really likes the band. So he's our official graphic designer. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it looks good, but I think the your classic logo. I mean, you see it says
Yeah.
Strike Master, but with the S and the M looking like the rocket launcher, people
He's a
that are
big
not aware.
Star Wars diehard fan.
Oh, Star Wars. I got you.
Yeah, he's a diehard fan, so you can imagine he's kind of mixing some of his his knowledge
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
there.
That would look great on a shirt, a T-shirt, which I'm sure you have.
Yeah. We've already there's a couple of guys around Mexico. They have the tattoo already.
I was gonna
So
say that would be a good tattoo. There you go. I'm not surprised about that at all.
there's quite many now already. They're making foreleg in their arms, in many parts of their body. I've seen them already.
Have you found that your fan base has grown over the years?
It increases, but some of them they just quit, the young ones. So as years come by, there's gonna be new generations, and we think the new album is gonna get to the hands of many young kids. Now they're gonna listen to Strike Master, and it's going to be the first Strike Master album they're gonna listen to because we already have 11 years on our back.
Right.
So it's a very good way to begin having a fan base, and then they're gonna find out how we started playing back in 2005. You know,
Yeah.
it was a different style, still thrash metal, but the new one is way very more technical than the
Yeah.
older ones.
Yeah, we're loving it. You may be having more young fans, but I think you're going to have a lot of new fans, and they might not be so young. Seriously, I think you're going to have a lot of new fans that are both young and old. I think that they're going to be supporting you more. That's what we're hoping for.
That's the main idea, you know, to hit all over the metal fan base in Mexico and the world, you know, for people to appreciate our music, all ages, like from teenagers till the big time metalheads back in the 80s. They're grown ups, they have kids and stuff. But every time you go to a Strike Master concert in Mexico, you will see some of them. They are bringing their kids to see the band. So
That's outstanding. Very nice.
yeah. So we meet like a little 6-year-old boy, and his father is like a 42 years old, and but he was to a metalhead back in his days.
All right, let's talk about videos. I went to your official YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/user/official Strike Master. On the site, I noticed there was a few MP3 uploads to the YouTube, but I'm not sure. I didn't notice any. Are there any plans of making any music or lyrical videos for this new release?
You know, a video, the way I think it's a double-edged blade. It's about if you don't have the good production, the means to make a very good video, you can make a fool out of yourself out to the world. So by now we are just taking up the music itself for people to get to know it, the ones that we cannot reach our physical CDs and stuff. And we're waiting until we meet someone who can make a very good video. We just want to upload good quality stuff.
I understand that. Yeah, hopefully you find someone that you know that could give you a good break on making a quality video that does a good job for you and doesn't cost you a ton of money.
Well, it will come as time will tell. You know, it's something we have not been looking for. We've been looking for more in our musical production, but maybe someday there's gonna be someone. The last we have a like kind of an official video. It was taken in May. It's in our channel. It's a Strike Master Merciless Machine live. It's at Mexico City Sports Arena. We had a very big concert. We played with King Diamond and Exodus, and
Nice.
they yeah, they took like 4 cameras to record the audience and the last song we played. Then they make the edition and they gave it to us as a present. You know, here you go. There's your video of your concert. So we took it up in the web. People are accepting it. But talking about an artistic video, it's not yet been in our plans. You know,
I
hopefully
totally understand you.
some.
Hopefully down the road at some point this will come true for you and be easy for you to get this done.
Of
But
course, I know bands, big bands, they have videos. Regular bands, they have videos, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a good video. So we just want to go to the secure option. You know, when we meet someone who is a very good director, we have good ideas. We can share together. You know, it doesn't have to be like Steven Spielberg, but we need someone who knows what he's doing, who's going to deliver a good work, and at the end, people are going to enjoy it, not they're going to laugh at it. We're not.
I absolutely understand where you're coming from. Yes, and I hope that works out for you. Hey, you never know. You know, hopefully, at some point, a nice label recognizes you and they give you this kind of support where they could connect you with a producer, a director that can make a quality video that would work out for you. But you know, this hopefully will come into fruition at some point. I know you're not looking
That
for
would
this right
be,
now, but that would be great if it ever happens.
let's hope it happens, bro.
Right? Let's do that. And let's talk merch. Where would you say would be the best place for a fan of Strike Master to get the digital downloads and the physical copy of Strike Master? And do I understand that you also have this available in vinyl?
Yeah, we have vinyls.
Wow,
Of
that's
course, we
nice.
have.
Yeah, you said
Well, the best place to get our merchandise, the cheaper way, is when you assist to a concert of ours. You know, we will always take T-shirts, CDs, vinyls, patches, pins, whatever, and we can sign them to you right there. Take a picture all together. But the secondary way, at least Mexico, we make a we designed a small system. You deposit to our bank account, and with the receipt and your address, you send them to an email and then mail them to you. That's the way I do it. I mail them all the way, Mexican Post, registered packages all over Mexico, and it has never failed me. And to the world, you know, outside Mexico borders, it's about PayPal system, www.strikemaster.net. It's practically an online shop, our web page.
very
You click
nice.
on it, yeah, you click on it, and then I get the warning there's a customer who bought a CD, stuff like that. and then I mail them to you as well. It's gonna take like 1 month maybe to get to your place, but it always gets to the place they ask for it. I send a lot of music to the United States. I sent to Russia. I sent to Europe in general. Japan, always buying records. Japan, at least they last year they bought like 20 CDs and then another 20. Now they bought 15 CDs of the new album. So that's the regular customs we have. And digital music, it's a Spotify. We have two accounts. I don't know why. We're working on it to have just one because the name is separately, like Strike Master together, and then Strike and then Master.
But yeah, I see how that could happen. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're working on it with the customer service from Spotify. And the new album is still uploading. It's been like 3 weeks. We got it there, but they have not shown it yet. We will let people know through our Facebook page, Strike Master Official. And that's the way how our fans, they find about. We have new merchandise. So that's why I always tell people to stay tuned, stay alert on the stuff we write about in our webpage. That's the way we let them know we have new merchandise, we're traveling to their cities, whatever.
It's great to know that you have fans around the world that you ship to Russia, to overseas, and yeah.
The most like 1 month half maybe.
Yeah.
But
happens.
I've been sending music to my cities, to Morocco, to Japan, to Moscow. So in a way, it means that the music is ringing all over the world. That's a good idea. Hopefully, more people to get to know us.
That's outstanding, especially in this underground of ours. That around the world they're supporting your band. That to me is a very enlightening thing. I'm really happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, the underground is what keeps metal moving. Because the big labels and the mainstream, that's plastic. That's only plastic stuff. They just pre-produce. They make it like a marketing strategy. So they inject the money, they inject the promotion. But one day they are gonna have new bands and they're gonna forget the old ones. And that's when things get a little bit more how would you say, busy for those bands who are forgotten already. They used to be big time one day and then they are low again. So
it happens, yeah.
on the ground, we always keep working. We know reality. We have our feet on the ground. And I think the underground metal fan base, they are more loyal as well because they are also working to get their music. They are going to remain here until the day they die.
This is very true. All right, Col Kmu, let's talk about live performances. Just before, you were mentioning that you have done shows with King Diamond and Exodus, which is really outstanding. And I noticed that you have a show coming up December 6th called Thrashing the Grind School in Mexico City. I'm interested to know about this particular gig and what other shows you may have planned for the rest of the year and into 2018. And being that you've played with King Diamond and Exodus, what are the possibilities of you actually coming to the USA, maybe to tour with them or to be on another tour? Are there any chances of you coming to America to perform for us?
Yeah, of course. Well, it's Strike Master has been international since its very first year. We've been playing around the US, Europe, South America, but especially this 2017, it was one of our most important years in the band's history. We had a lot of international venues here, and we also played out in California, in the US. We did play here in Mexico with Razor from Canada. Then we got selected to play with King Diamond and Exodus. It was like the biggest concert we've been at. We played with Sodom here in Mexico City. Then we played with Sodom up in Monterrey City. We played 3 days ago with Sepultura from Brazil in a small festival we had in Mexico. At the end of the year, we're going to be playing in several states, in Mexico. We still have like a couple concerts to finish the year. And that's great for us since we have a new album. It's promotion. It means, as I told you, the best way for people to get our CDs, it's through our concerts. And that's very accurate since we're going to have a lot of concerts. We're going to sell a lot of CDs out to the people.
Absolutely, that's always the best way when you go to a show to get the merch. But sometimes it's inconvenient for like a fan from wherever, Poland or Russia, or maybe
Yeah,
even the United States come to one of your shows. Really, so that's why we have the internet as a vehicle
exactly.
to get that.
Online shopping,
Yeah,
and then next year we are confirmed for the Milwaukee, New York Death Militia Spring Bash. It's going to be on April 21st.
oh, in Milwaukee, congratulations,
Milwaukee,
very nice.
yeah, it's going to be a 3-day festival full of American and European bands playing. You know, it's going to be classics like Hellstar, Nasty Savage, Holy Moses,
Wow.
and Mexico represented by Strike Master. And then we're trying to get a couple more dates, you know, to if we're already in the US, let's go play around. So we're gonna go maybe play New York City, New
Excellent,
Jersey,
excellent.
Maryland. So we're talking about it, you know.
Yeah.
We hope at least we get like 1 or 2 weeks up in the States, you know, to make it happen. Just waiting the invitations to arrive to our inbox, you know, at our emails, you know. That's when people tell, hey, would you like to come play in Chicago, New York, LA? We say, of course, we're ready for it. There's nothing else in our lives. We dedicate ourselves only to Strike Master. So it's all about the invitations to arrive. We accept, we make a fair deal for both the organization and the band, and we make it happen.
This is
That's the way
exciting.
we move.
Yeah, this is exciting.
We have
I'm hoping that you
no,
do get to play in New York City, even. Take the train and come to meet you live and get some merch right at the show. I'd love for that to
yeah,
happen.
we
Let's
did
make
play
it.
last year in New York City, September 24. We played at the Blackthorn 51 Queens,
In
I
Queens.
remember.
Oh, you did that already? Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
New York. We did New Orleans at the New Orleans Metal Festival. We did California. We did LA. We did San Jose, Santa Cruz, Watsonville. We already been in Florida, Miami, Tampa, Orlando. So it's all about. I told you we have no booking agency. We're independent that way as well. We're not paying anyone to book our shows. We have to make it ourselves. For people go to see me, but people go to see Strike Master because they like it.
Yeah, well, I had no idea you've done so many shows. That's outstanding. I'm really happy for you. And do you realize when you were in Florida, you were not that far away from the Metal Messiah Radio headquarters, not that far from Miami.
I didn't know, man. And we
Yeah,
played together with Hellwitch, the classic death thrash metal band.
I'll tell you what. Next time you come in that area, let me know, and I'll give a heads up to LC. He's the owner of Metal Messiah Radio. He's
Okay.
the president of Metal Messiah Radio headquarters, and maybe I could connect the two of you where you could meet him in person and all that fun stuff, because this has happened. This has happened with the bands that come and visit us. We had a band from Colombia, Betrayer, FTM, and they hung out with in Metal Messiah Radio headquarters with LC as well. So you were there already. Wow. So next time you go in that area, let me know and I'll spread the word to
I
LC.
will let you know, of course.
Yeah,
It's all about. It's a matter of time for us to go back. That's how we think about it.
I
But
never.
then one day they're gonna ask us to go up again, and we'll make it happen.
That's excellent. I never knew that you were that busy with shows. That's outstanding, really. So it
If you
boggles
get
my.
into our Facebook page, you can see this album called History, and that's our most outstanding shows we've had. We also upload like the flyers from each year's concerts we had. So, but anyways, for us, it's still very few shows. We need more. We need to grow bigger to survive as a band, you know.
Right. I understand you, and I feel that a band like yourself, with your talent and you do so many shows, you definitely deserve to be signed to a substantial label, even if it's a smaller label. I'm surprised that you're not on a bigger label, really, from the quality of your sound and the amount of touring that you do, shows around the world. I think that you definitely deserve this. So hopefully, at some
Maybe
point,
one day they will put their eyes on us, and if they not, we don't care anyways, man. We're gonna keep playing no matter what.
Well, we have to keep spreading the word and do our job here, and hopefully this will happen in time.
That job belongs to the fans, and to the metal radios and stuff like that to spread the word. We are already working here, so let's all work together.
I agree. That's how the underground is.
Yeah,
We can't do much on our own. With teamwork, we can accomplish a lot more. Years ago, many
make
years
it
ago,
happen.
I used to work in this a restaurant, right? And we had an Italian owner, and he used to speak
Yeah.
Italian. And he said something to me which I didn't understand, and he explained it to me in English. He goes, "With one hand, what can you do?" And I'm like, "Well, it depends on what you're looking to do." But
Yeah.
yeah, and I go, and your point is, he goes, with one hand, there's not much you can do, but when you have two hands, and then he says, you could wash a face. But you could take that into the underground and be okay. We're talking about the underground. What can you do with one hand? What one person can't do it any much of anything on his own. But when you have more hands, you can accomplish a lot more. So I always remember that story he told me, and I bring it to the underground because I believe
Yeah.
it. I believe that that's true. That you can't do this all by yourself. That with more
Never.
support in the underground, you could definitely accomplish a lot more.
It's always like to have the attitude to have your feet, both feet on the ground, and to be humble, to be realistic.
That's very true.
It's gonna happen. I never imagined myself I was gonna play with King Diamond. I never did. Back when
Right.
I was a teenager, when I loved that band, we've already played with our favorite bands. We already played with Overkill, with Possessed, Flotsam and Jetsam, Testament, Black Label Society. We've done big shows now with big bands. We used to see as our gods, back when we were kids. So in a way, I think something good is happening. So let's keep up the good work. That's all.
Exactly. Colonel, would you like to talk about your guitars? Want to talk about your gear? Anything about
Yeah,
that?
well, my gear, it's I have two custom guitars made in Mexico. They have the shape of an Iron Bird, American Iron Bird, and I have an SG, like a Gibson SG. So, well, they are handmade. They are strong wooden, very good guitars. I have my pickups, which they are Seymour Duncan Invaders. They are full of gain. I used the Diadario strings back since I was 15 years old. I have Dunlop picks, for playing my guitar. It's like the Gator 1.14 millimeter, the blue ones. Forever, I love those. I have a Marshall amplifier, which fell to the floor in the earthquake last September, but it's okay. It's not damaged. I have my pedal set. It's an analog pedal set. It's a Theta pedal from ISP Technologies. It's very good distortion. It's connected to the Boss digital delay with 50 milliseconds playing, and then it goes to the Sonic Stomp boost. That's the way I play. My drummer has already been looking for endorsements and stuff like that, but as I told you, it's very difficult in Mexico to approach to those brands.
Yeah, I understand you.
It would be great for me to it would be great for me to approach to them and to tell them, hey, this is Mexican strike master thrash metal band playing all over the world with your stuff. At least I would like to get my name somewhere or kind of a discount, since
Exactly.
yeah, US dollar is coming up and Mexican economy is shit. So we're down to the ground. $1 equals 19 pesos. So every time the coin falls in Mexico, stuff gets a little bit more expensive each time. So the strings are getting a lot more expensive. The picks are getting more expensive, everything. So we have to take care of our stuff. So I would love to see those brands taking their eyes to us and to see we're giving them very good exposure at the big concerts we're playing every month here in Mexico and outside Mexico. So that's the way it goes here.
Yeah, you're making a very good point there. You definitely deserve to be endorsed by these brands that you're using and giving them the exposure. And I wish for you that this happens at some point. It's not easy anywhere, but I definitely understand what you're saying and how it is there in Mexico. But there has to be a way that this can happen, and I wish this for you.
As I told you, my Marshall amplifier fell to the floor in the earthquake, the strong earthquake we had like September 19th.
Right.
And it didn't got damaged, but I mean, I could have been just rehearsing in front of it, and it would have been falling over my head. I would be dead.
Yeah,
And then Marshall would maybe say, "Let's endorse that kid. Now he's dead under his Marshall amplifier. Well, let's not wait until it happens. Let's
right,
start working now."
right. And getting back to that earthquake, how did your family? How did everybody in your city? Everybody was okay, or did you have any?
No, no, no. We had a lot of damage. It
Yeah.
was something never been at. It took some buildings down, like 40 buildings went down with people trapped inside. And they were like few blocks away from my house. So we went all together with a couple shovels we have. And people started helping people, people helping people out of the collapsed buildings. It was a very horrible week we had in Mexico because we know it can happen any second, anytime. It's not. It's very unpredictable, and we are in an earthquake city. But last September 19th, at least like 350 people lost their lives, and thousands of people they lost their homes because maybe the building didn't went down, but it's full of cracks out, in the walls. They are about to collapse. So the authorities won't let them walk in, and it's like people working their whole life, to have an apartment, to have a little house or something, and then boom, in 30 seconds everything is destroyed.
Yeah, that's very sad. And we have a DJ actually here at Metal Messiah Radio that is from your town in Mexico City, DJ Alexandra, and she survived it with no problem. But yeah, when this all happened back in September, everyone was like, "Oh my God, I hope she's okay," and she's okay. But yeah, this year with what happened in Mexico with the hurricane and the weather here in the States too with the hurricanes. I mean,
Yeah, it was a very chaotic summer.
yeah,
I have very good friends living in Florida, and they were just like securing their houses and everything. I have friends in Tampa, I have friends in Miami, so they in Fort Lauderdale as well. So they were kind of worried. We all had a very hard time this summer up in the U.S., in the Caribbean. Puerto Rico got flooded.
oh yeah, we know people in Puerto Rico too. They lost power the entire country. It
Yeah,
was crazy.
and they have an awesome metal scene. Strike Master played in Puerto Rico twice back in 2006 when we were young already, and it was one of the most memorable trips I've had in my life,
Oh
in
yeah.
my whole life. I will always remember Puerto Rico as one of the strongest places to play metal. Hopefully, we make it back again
I
one
hope
day.
so. I hope they have decent weather. And yeah, Florida, that area, they always have the tropical storms, and they have this kind of weather almost all the time. But it's really bad when they get these hurricanes, and Texas got hit really bad as well. Lots of people lost their lives, and I'm just happy, for all being said and done, that Houston won the World Series. It's great that some other team
Yeah,
besides the Yankees and the Dodgers won this. But if anyone's going to win it and they lost so much, it's good to see that
yeah.
they won it. So but
Texas is the state of the United States I most enjoyed since I was a little kid because it's very close from Mexico, so it's cheap to travel there to go. I don't know, to go out there to the shopping malls and stuff like that. So Texas has been like the city sorry, the state I've been most of its cities. I've been in Houston, I've been in San Antonio, I've been Dallas, Texas. I've been both for concerts or just for chilling.
yeah,
I appreciate the
that is awesome.
Star State a lot. And also New Orleans, it's a southern city, Louisiana. I really loved it. We played there last year, and I know they had a very bad time back in 2005 with the Katrina hurricane.
Oh
But
yeah,
these guys are like 5 feet below the sea level, and that's very dangerous.
oh yeah. Crazy weather we get here.
I know.
It's it's always going to be that way. So you have to cross your fingers and hope it doesn't happen to you.
Not
We've been lucky
man.
here in New York. We could have gotten the same thing this year, but we got
Well,
lucky.
at least hurricanes can warn you they are coming. An earthquake, it's just like boom. The
Yeah.
alarm starts ringing, you have to run the hell out of your place or whatever you're at. You have like 10 seconds before it falls over you.
Okay, we've never had earthquakes here on the East Coast, but LA area,
Yeah,
California, they're known to have their hurricanes.
I know, I know.
It's sad.
It's good.
But
Okay.
so, what do you think of the food there in New Orleans and
I
in Texas compared to how your food is
delicious
in
food.
Mexico?
Delicious food in New Orleans. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I also love barbecue, grill, and stuff like that. But I think New Orleans is the first place for me to go eat in the United States. I like hamburgers, I like ribs, I like everything. But New Orleans has a very special way of cooking. I
Is that
really enjoyed it.
is that the French Creole type of flavor they have there? I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, yeah.
you know, Mardi Gras and all that fun stuff.
We had everything over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we also went to this huge buffet called the Hot Wok Buffet in New Orleans, and the owner was very kind to us. You guys in the metal band, yeah, we all took a picture together there at the buffet. It was very funny.
Very nice. That's why Americans are fat because they have too many buffet places around
Yeah, I know. No,
here.
every time I go to the U.S., I eat so much. It's very difficult to come back Mexico. People tells me, "Hey, man, you're looking kind of fat."
Oh, yeah.
In the U.S., yeah, I did. Had this huge double steak hamburger, and you can imagine, yeah, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Crazy. But it's true, right?
Yeah,
Well, Col Kmu, I want to thank you once again for joining us tonight on the Metal Meltdown. Before we go and crank up more Strike Master, I just want to make sure that if there's anything else we could bring out to the world out there, let's do that. I think we learned a lot about your band and we brought up a lot of great information. But if there's something else that you'd like to bring out there, please do so.
well, as I told you before, I tell you again, it's about people to stay tuned. I need people to share our the stuff we're uploading in the web. I need people to know Strike Masters live. We're fighting for metal. We're all together. We're all the same family here in metal. There's no borders. We are just the same kind of metalheads everywhere. Also in South America, there's a lot of people fighting for metal. So let's keep all together, and that way we will be stronger. And anytime someone from the US, from Metal Messiah Radio listeners want to get in contact with Strike Master, we're gonna be there for you. You guys coming to Mexico City, we're gonna host you. We're gonna take you places. If you guys need to know, there's a lot of more bands here in Mexico. There's a lot of metal promoters and small gigs, concerts going on. Let's all keep in touch. That's all I have to say. Stay safe, and Strike Master is ready here for you.
Very well said, my friend, and that definitely fits in very well with the underground and the teamwork that's needed to get this all out there. So I appreciate you saying that. And beyond that, is there anything that you would like to say to the Strike Master fans that are tuning in at this time?
Well, Strike Master fans that are tuned, the you guys have to know there's a new album out. Maybe you didn't know. So I need you to go strikemaster.net in your computer and buy that CD. I'm gonna send it personally to you guys. That way, you're gonna help us get the money back, and we're going to record a new album next year.
Wow, that's great. Well, I tell you what, I would love to have you come back here on the Metal Meltdown when you do have that new music out there, so we can come back here to talk about it again. Would you like to do that?
You'll know about it. The minute it's out, you're gonna know about it.
I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to following your career in Strike Master and having you back here on the Metal Meltdown for each new release so that you have a vehicle to spread the word about it and inform the listeners and the fans and the underground about your music, because you definitely deserve the support, and you'll always have our support here on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you very much on behalf of all of our members.
I appreciate that, and I want to wish you and everyone in the band, and all your fans, and everyone related to Strike Master, all your families and everyone. I want to see you have continued success. May you reach all your goals and have an outstanding what's left of this year, the new year, and for many years to come. I'm very happy and delighted to have gotten with you today. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and you opened my eyes to a lot of things I was not aware of, and I appreciate that. I want to thank you so much for this interview, and I'm looking forward to the future of Strike Master and future interviews.
Thank you very much, man. As well, we're gonna be here all the time. Anytime you need us, you just write to us. We're gonna give you as much information as we can get to you. So
Excellent,
that's
excellent,
it, I think, for the interview. This is
excellent.
Strike Master, over and out.